welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays. This Thanksgiving, I'm going to get a little personal with you. I hope you don't mind. I wanted to share a big lesson learned that I had in 2001, and then an idea for doing something about it that I've been trying to live with ever since. The big lesson learned was leaving it too late to say thank you. I ended up saying it to my mother when she was dying of cancer, basically on her deathbed, probably the last two words that I said to her. And I think she always knew my appreciation, but I came out of that experience resolving to not leave it too late for people in my life to know how much I appreciate them. You're probably all better at this than I am. But for me, it started a thank you and a thank it forward and Thanksgiving appreciation for all of the heads up clients. I started to be more expressive to my friends and family, and I wrote the odd note. And that's what I want to share with you in this idea, that maybe this Thanksgiving you might want to just craft a note, whatever comes to mind, doesn't have to be too fancy, and give it to someone that you love to show your appreciation. I'm going to share the one with you that I wrote my dad. This was about 2 years after my mom passed away, and he would have been in his early 80s at that point. And maybe the format of it or the ideas in it will spur you and make your effort even a little bit easier. And if I lose you before the end of the letter, that's okay. I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving and thank you for being in my life. Dear Dad, I'm not sure if you know, but I consider myself to be the luckiest of people. Not lucky in the rabbit's foot kind of way, more ingrained than that. I attribute so much of my good fortune to being your daughter. I think of how you've molded my character. So many little stories pop into my thoughts throughout even an ordinary week. There was the time I was trying to sew my first pair of corduroy pants in about grade 8. I cut out all the pattern and stitched up the sides. Then, just before bed, I tried them on. Brown clown pants they were, light and dark in the front, dark and light in the back. I hadn't learned about fabrics having naps. I was devastated and a wreck as I went to bed. In the morning, I awakened to the pants at the same stage of finish, but put right. While I was sleeping, you'd taken the seams apart, reconfigured the pattern pieces, working the naps the right way, and re-sewn the pants. You'd even invisibly added little corner pieces needed for the flared bottoms. I learned from you the importance of persevering, that actions can speak much louder than words, that you should keep focused on the issue, not your emotions in times of turmoil, that dads are there for you. Of course, you've always supported my work. You told Pat once that you were better able to spend time coaching me as a kid, given the later stage of your own life and career. I know that the hands-on lessons in writing and thinking you passed on to me have formed the basis for my business dealings today. It was in grade 6 that I was writing my essay on Eskimos. I'd created lots of pages, all typed out, and had done some fine illustrations of Eskimos with slit sunglasses. You went over it with me in your office at home and suggested areas of improvement. Yes, I resisted every suggestion, but you kept your cool and made your points. Much of it came down to adding an impressive introductory first paragraph and a tie-it-all-up summary paragraph. You rattled the words off on the typewriter and the report was done. Imagine my shock next morning when the teacher decided to award marks after each person read their paper aloud. The first student stood up and he stopped them after the first paragraph. Then he asked them to go to the last paragraph and read that. Then he announced their mark. Needless to say, kids didn't do very well. And then he asked me. I read the beginning and then the last paragraph, and we got an A. I learned it was important both to have good content and to take the extra step to package it in a way that others would value most. It's that not only what you say, but how you say it. That's been an ace for me in speech competitions, in making recommendations to the church, in speaking to the WWF board members, in bringing research learning to life for my clients. I missed your help when trying to create a new posting with Ogilvy and Mather in 1996. You and Mom were in Florida, and I'd worked up a few alternative roles and presented them to the president while I was still on maternity leave. But the next week, all my friends and the professionals I'd met with thought I was off my rocker. Seemingly, I'd handed Ogilvy too many easy options, including one that might allow them to let me go without any severance after 16 years with the company. When you returned from holiday, I met with you at the house at night. We chatted through the options for a couple of hours around the kitchen table. You asked some great questions, and I was able to clarify some of my own perspectives. Near the end of the evening, you shimmied up on the kitchen counter and said that yes, I may have made a mistake. But you made me feel like it wasn't going to be the end of the world. You even got me to laugh about the whole thing. It was a good turning point for me and the start of a whole new partnership with Ogilvy and ultimately a wonderful new career in research. No mistake, after all. The support you gave me was always so great and done with humor. I remember the long typewritten letters I received at camp from Dad at the Mowbray Mansion. In those days, it was rare for a dad to write, let alone make me chuckle. And I remember you silently cheering me on at the Ottawa Advertising and Sales Club speech. I saw you twinkling in the audience. You'd given my topic a spiffy title, Detective Stories from the Wide World of Advertising. You'd also given me the scoop on what they would expect from me and how to wow the audience. I was going to dress more casually so as not to be an intimidating broad from Toronto, but instead you advised me to be the classiest in dress and attitude, but also to be open and warm. That was just the ticket. You're a guy you want to have in your corner, like one spooky night when I was 6, like when Mom was fighting with cancer, like when family issues threatened to get the best of us. You're someone we can count on to lead us to a good solution, someone with smarts, patience, and a commitment to fairness, mixed with the willingness to go to battle, unwavering guts, and the energy to see things through to the end. You told me you're your own king before my first trip with a girlfriend to the Bahamas in grade 13. It's one of the credos that I hold closest to my heart. To me, it's not dancing to the beat of others' drums if you think it's not right for you. It means that at the end of the day, you're only as good as you have been. It means it's up to you to keep your own standards high and to keep your word. Even today, you live life with gusto, with optimism and forward thinking, with robust goals, and with the wherewithal to fulfill them as you go along. This Thanksgiving, I see who I am today and who I may become in future. And thank my lucky stars for you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.